Published in 2013, We Are Water is a literary fiction novel by Wally Lamb. Set in Connecticut during the early years of the Obama presidency, the story follows the O family after wife and mother Annie announces that she is divorcing her husband of 27 years to wed another woman. Lamb is the author of several novels and essay collections, and his books have twice been selected for Oprah's Book Club. His works, such as She's Come Undone, have also won several awards, including the New England Book Award for Fiction and the Barnes Noble Writers for Writers Award. The story of We Are Water is told in a first-person narrative that alternates between the various characters. The center of everything is Annie O, wife, mother, and experimental artist. After 27 years of marriage to her husband, Orion, a recently fired college psychologist, Annie has fallen in love with Viveca, her Manhattanite art dealer. The O family's 3 adult children, unattractive, do-gooder Ariane, her rebellious twin brother, Andrew, and Marissa, an aspiring actress with a drinking problem, also take turns telling the story. The novel begins with the story of Josephus Jones, an African-American outsider artist living in the 1960s. After he paints a portrait of a white girl in his version of Adam and Eve, Josephus is pushed down a well. The official story calls his fall an accident, and Josephus is now a ghost who haunts the O property. Dr. Orion O has had a tough year. A workplace sexual harassment claim and a student suicide have forced him into early retirement, and his wife has left him for a woman. He decides to spend the summer in self-reflection, to figure out how to shed my bitterness, forgive myself and others, and start over. Orchestrate a reinvention. He drives to Cape Cod to stay at a vacation home owned by Viveca, his ex-wife's fiancée. Annie is a genius artist, famous for her trash collages that she creates out of the blast furnace of her pent-up rage. This rage is fueled from the fact that she was sexually abused as a child. Her most praised work is called Birthings, which features a row of headless mannequins, their bloody legs spread wide, their wombs expelling serial killers. Speck. Bundy. Gacy. Monsters all. But despite this rage that has made her famous, Annie has trouble reconciling this violent streak with her role as a mother. As the day of her wedding draws near, she wonders just how lesbian she really is. When Annie is just 6 years old, her mother and sister are killed in a flood. Because her father is an alcoholic, Annie is put in the care of her pedophile cousin, Kent, who was himself abused as a child. Kent narrates several chapters in the book. He is unapologetic about his behavior and details how he hunts children. After she escapes from Kent, Annie goes from foster home to foster home until she comes of age. She works in dead-end jobs to make ends meet, and finally, she meets Orion, an Asian Italian-American. They marry and have 3 children, but she is ill-suited for the domestic life, and so she expresses her anger through her art. During their communication-less marriage, she grows to resent Orion for not valuing her art and for not helping around the house. The adult O children also have opportunities to tell their stories. Overweight and lonely, Ariane has decided to become a single mother via a donor clinic, but she is keeping this secret from her family. Marissa is free-spirited and careless. In hopes of landing an acting job, she attends a meeting with a Hollywood producer who assaults her after doing cocaine. Andrew has chosen a career as an army nurse so that he can treat horrifically injured war veterans. He struggles with anger issues, and it's revealed that Annie physically abused him. However, he tracks down Kent and takes revenge on the person he sees as being the true source of his own abuse. This helps to exorcise his own anger, and he states, "We are like water, aren't we? We can be fluid, flexible when we have to be. But strong and destructive, too." Shallow Viveca spends money as if it grows on trees, and on a whim, she begins buying up old paintings by Josephus Jones. Eventually, Annie not only becomes aware of the ghost on her property, she is able to communicate with it. Josephus asks her what she really wants, and she answers that she wants to make art. Annie is inspired by Josephus, and the ghost becomes her muse. Through his influence, she is able to confront her childhood trauma. As the book ends, the characters are no happier, despite the supposedly joyous wedding, but they still have their hope. So maybe that's what love means. Having the capacity to forgive the one who wronged you, no matter how deep the hurt was. Clea Simon of the Boston Globe writes that We Are Water has all the touchstones of a potboiler, multi-generational family saga, high finance, abuse, creativity, sex, and even love. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.